Okay, so as we are trying to build up a playlist of all the different things that's Marvel Cosmic, I was kind of sitting down wondering what should the next video be. And honestly, I had some good choices. I had Thor, I had Doctor Strange, and I say, you know what? Let's go ahead and do another Fantastic Four video. But this time, we're going to sit down and talk about the idea of the first appearance of Galactus, but also the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. Here's the thing, because after this video, we can then sit down and cover other storylines that came out of Silver Surfer solo series to kind of help us explore the cosmic side of the Marvel Universe. Now, we're going to go ahead and skip over a few pages, and the reason why, because the first few pages are technically picking up from a previous issue where it's more of the Fantastic Four dealing with the Inhumans. And honestly, I love the idea of the Inhumans, but this video is all about Galactus. And so we're going to jump right in the middle of Fantastic Four number 48. And we pick up with the Silver Surfer. We get our first look of this character. But the thing is, while you had a Silver Surfer just flying through the universe, he's passing by one of the worlds that belong to the Skrulls. And the Skrulls know the Silver Surfer very well, because if you see him, then most likely Galactus is not too far behind him. And so you had the Skrulls go out of their way to make sure that Silver Surfer does not see their planet at all. It kind of shows us that the Skrulls, who have been an enemy of the Fantastic Four for a good while by this point in Marvel Comics, are scared of something else, something more powerful than them. And so now we're kind of getting the idea of how dangerous these two characters are. But we have to transition over to the Fantastic Four, because as they're just coming home from one of their adventures against the Inhumans, they realize the sky is on fire. Now, here comes the big problem, because you have the Human Torch side. You know what? Let me go ahead and fly around and see what exactly is going down, but also see how the public is reacting to the idea of the sky being on fire. And the problem is, you have the public quick to blame the Human Torch for what's happening right now in the sky, because he is a fire-based hero. It has to be his fault for the reason why the sky is on fire at the moment. And so you now have the public trying to attack the Human Torch. Now, luckily for him, the rest of the team is there, and they're able to protect him and get him the heck out of there. But the problem is, as soon as they get back over to the Baxter building, the sky turns back to normal. Now, for a brief moment, we see the Silver Surfer absorbing the energy of a dying star. But after doing that, you had a surfer realize there is a certain type of sun out there in the universe. And that's the case. That means there has to be a world near that sun that could be enough energy to give over to Galactus. And so now the surfer is heading over to Earth. Now, while you have that happening, you see that Susan Storm is very upset with Reed. And the reason why, because she wants to spend some time with her man. She's kind of like, listen, the fire in the sky is gone. The danger is gone. He should be with me. But instead, you have Reed currently in the lab, working on different stuff. Now, you have Johnny and Ben realize there's something else now happening in the sky. Space debris is just covering the sky, technically covering the entire Earth. And this is being done by one particular character as a way to hide the Earth from the Silver Surfer. And that would be the Watcher. You see, the Watcher, he's only supposed to watch the universe and record everything he sees happening in the universe. But for the Watcher, he'd have begun to fall in love with the Earth, the humans of Earth. And so he's trying his best right now to protect this world from Galactus. And so you have the Watcher tell our young heroes like, hey, listen, when it comes to Galactus, he sends his herald out there, a scout, better known as the Silver Surfer. If he finds a world that's fitting for Galactus to absorb, he will then call in Galactus. I was trying my best to hide your world, but unfortunately, the Surfer found Earth. And now he's going to see if this world is good enough for Galactus to absorb. Because what's going to happen, he is going to convert the entire world to energy and absorb that energy, and everyone here on Earth will be dead. But once you have the Silver Surfer arrive on Earth, you do have the Human Torch and Ben Grimm try to fight against the Surfer. Human Torch fails automatically, but for Ben Grimm, it does seem like he was able to kind of push the Surfer off the building, but at the same time you have the book say like actually he fallen off. It's kind of weird, or he fell off on purpose. Either way, you have the Watcher say, listen, the Surfer is no longer our concern. Right now, our concern is Galactus, because the Surfer was able to call out for his master, to call out to Galactus. And so for the very last page of issue number 48, we get our first full look of Galactus in the Marvel Universe. And with issue number 49, we see our heroes just watching the Watcher try to explain things to Galactus like, hey, Galactus, listen, you should not be trying to kill off this entire planet. There's life on this planet, intelligent life. Like, why are you going out of your way to wipe out this entire world? But for Galactus, it's more of, he does not have a choice. He has to absorb energy from different planets. And this one has a lot of energy that would be great for him. And he says like, hey, sorry, if people die, people die. But I came here for a certain mission and I will do my job. Now for Ben Grimm, you have been trying to express how angry he is. But for Galactus, he looks at Ben Grimm and the rest of the humans as peasants, not even peasants. He looks at them as insects, ants, or different types of bugs. And you have Ben Grimm try to attack Galactus. And for Galactus, he shows us like, yeah, I look at you guys as insects, because right after you have Ben Grimm trying to attack Galactus, you have Galactus drop some kind of flower or whatever that release some kind of toxin. And for Reed Richards, it's more of, look, he sees us as bugs and he just used insect repellent on us, trying to get Ben Grimm away from him, because to him, Ben Grimm is just a mosquito. Now you do have Reed being able to protect Ben Grimm from the toxin, but you didn't have the Human Torch also try to fight against Galactus, which unfortunately, he also fails as well. So after he fails, you didn't have the Watcher say, go back to your base, like go back home, and I will be there shortly to talk to you guys about an idea to hopefully stop Galactus. And I kind of find this next page a tad bit funny, because when you have the Human Torch get back to the Baxter building, you got Ben Grimm taking a bath, but you also have Reed just shaving his face like, well, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and relax a tad bit, and then we'll get back out there with a game plan. It's kind of like, dude, the world might end very soon. I feel like you should be a tad bit more serious here. Now, for the Silver Surfer, he had landed in the apartment of Alicia Masters. As we all know, Alicia is blind, but also the girlfriend to Ben Grimm. Now, as soon as he does crash into her apartment, you do have her realize there's someone there, but also this is her being that key, that one person who can change the mind of the Silver Surfer to help him realize like, hey, listen, what you're doing is wrong. But at first, it's just her trying her best to understand the man. It's her learning like, oh, you're from a different planet. Oh, you never met humans before. And oh, I kind of realized that you are a lonely person. This is very interesting. You know what? Go ahead and sit down and let me feed you. Now, for Silver Surfer, he's very confused because it's him still learning everything about Earth, but also the entire universe. It kind of shows us that this man has not really explored the universe in a different way, where he is able to learn different things out there, like on Earth as well. And the whole idea of eating, like, it's him kind of like, what do you mean we're going to eat? All I see is metal things in front of me. But back at the Baxter building, it's the Watcher coming to the Fantastic Four. Now, really, it's really more of him explaining like how Galactus truly works, because right now you have Galactus just building his device, and this device is going to be used to convert the Earth into energy for Galactus to absorb. And so you have the Watcher showing the Fantastic Four the actual process of what Galactus does with his device. And so you have our heroes wondering, what can they do? And you have Galactus say, technically, there's only one person who can truly help us at this moment, and that would be the Human Torch. And for me, that was kind of cool because I thought, okay, you know what? He'll say Reed Richards, and you're going to have Reed being able to find a way to stop Galactus. No, it is going to be the Human Torch who's going to find an item to technically be used against Galactus to save the Earth. But before we're able to learn what the Watcher is going to do with the Human Torch, we see Alicia being that key to help save the world, because you had a Silver Surfer explain to her like, hey, listen, I'm the Surfer, I work for Galactus, and we're here to kill off everybody on Earth. But you have her say like, you can't do that. We are people. We have lives. We have souls. Like, we are people who are trying to achieve great things in our own lives. It's her trying to express to him like what they are doing is wrong. And so while she expressing that, you had a Surfer begin to gain a new emotion, the new idea of empathy, feeling for other people, the beauty of this world. And so for a brief moment, you have Surfer say like, you know, maybe what he's doing is wrong. But again, he cannot go against his master. But you did have her show all those people who are down there panicking right now, freaking out because they're seeing what Galactus is doing to the entire planet. And technically, you have Galactus almost ready to just use his machine to convert the Earth into energy. The Earth is about to die. Now, luckily for the Earth, you have the Fantastic Four there, hoping to stop him. You got Reed, you got Susan, you got Ben Grimm. Now, the Human Torch, he stayed behind because the Watcher said, I need you to find a device that could most likely stop Galactus from trying to kill off the entire planet. And so right now you have the rest of the team just trying their best to stop him for the time being. Now for Galactus, he is able to rebuild his machine in a matter of minutes, but he needs that time. And so you have Galactus say, you know what? Let me go ahead and call in the Punisher. No, not the Punisher Frank Castle, his robot called the Punisher. And so this robot is going to be used as a way to fight against the Fantastic Four to allow Galactus enough time to finish his machine. And so for the Human Torch, you have the Watcher tell Human Torch, like, you're going to travel across the universe to have the ability to find the home of Galactus. Now, the reason why the Human Torch was chosen, because with his powers, he could technically fly through the universe, but avoid different things called the unlife. If he touches it, he will technically just perish. He will die right then and there. And so with his ability to fly, he can just fly through all those different things. Now you're probably wondering, hey Fresh, how in the world can the Human Torch travel so far across the universe? Well, you have the Watcher being able to power up the Human Torch, but also kind of give him a boost where he should be able to travel across the entire universe to find the home of Galactus, this huge space station. And so the item they're looking for is inside there. That item could be the key that could most likely stop Galactus from killing off the entire planet. But while you have Johnny going through that, you have the Punisher just beating down on the rest of the team. I truly do feel bad for the rest of the Fantastic Four because they're getting their butt kicked by this robot that was created by Galactus. As a matter of fact, they have no choice here. They have to retreat, but are still hoping in the possibility that Johnny will be able to save the day. But to close on the second chapter, you have Alicia Masters being able to convince the Silver Surfer to actually help out, because earlier she called him someone who's very noble, someone who can stand up for the right thing. But when you had Surfer say like, nah, I can't fight for Galactus, I'm sorry, y'all all going to die, she said, are you really that person? And he kind of realized, no, he's not. That he's really a good person who should go out of his way to protect the Earth, to protect the lives on Earth. And so for the first time ever for the Silver Surfer, he is now going to fight against Galactus as a way to save the Earth. Now the Watcher, he sees this coming, and he's kind of like, this right here could technically bring the end of the Earth, because the Surfer should not be trying to fight against Galactus. Now, something else I should possibly mention is that when it comes to issue number 50, the first half of this issue is really more of wrapping up our storyline with Galactus, and the second half is really being used as a way to set up future stories in later issues at that time for Fantastic Four. So we're only covering the first few pages of issue number 50 as a way to wrap up our coverage over the first appearance of Galactus and the Silver Surfer. Speaking of Silver Surfer, it's kind of cool because you see him trying to stop Galactus in the opening pages of issue number 50. It's him realizing that what he was doing earlier for Galactus was completely wrong. It's him saying like, hey, these people are not just peasants. They're not just ants. These people, they have souls. They have lives. They're all trying to achieve greatness in their lives. And so you had a Silver Surfer trying to use the powers he can to hopefully stop Galactus. But the thing is, Galactus is more powerful than the Silver Surfer. Galactus is Surfer's master. And so you have Galactus say, dude, really? Do you really believe that you have the power to stop me? And so you have Surfer try his best to encase Galactus in some kind of cocoon, but you have Galactus being able to break out of that very easily. Now, luckily for our heroes, the Human Torch had just returned, and with the Human Torch being back, he has an item that can stop Galactus, and that would be the Ultimate Nullifier. Now, this has the ability to wipe out galaxies just like that in a matter of seconds or a second. And so it's right now the Human Torch saying like, hey, this device can be used to stop Galactus. And you have Reed pick it up, and you have Reed go over to Galactus to show Galactus what he has. Now for Galactus, he begins to freak out because with the Ultimate Nullifier being in the hands of Reed, it can most likely kill off the entire galaxy, but also Galactus as well. And for Galactus, he hates the idea of being killed off. But now you have the Watcher being able to communicate with Galactus. And it's the Watcher saying, Galactus, look at that one human right there. That man, Reed Richards, took the Ultimate Nullifier, walked up to you and said, hey, listen, if you continue, I will kill you. That right there took courage. But the thing is, it's the Watcher saying, Galactus, look at the human race. They have the ability to grow. They have the ability to achieve greatness, not just for their world, but also achieve greatness for the entire universe. But it's also the Watcher telling Galactus, look at my race and look at your race. There was a time where we were technically like them, humans. Small groups of people on a planet. But then later on, we had evolved into great beings. And so we have no idea what the humans can achieve. My thing is, if you kill them off now, we'll never know what they're going to achieve. And so you have Galactus agree to leave. But for Galactus, he's kind of like, hey, I still need to absorb some type of energy. Where can I go? And you have the Watcher say, why not go after other planets that have no life forms on there at all, to allow you the chance to absorb planets that can give you a great amount of energy without the idea of killing anybody. And so you do have Galactus agree. Now, before you have Galactus leave, he tells Silver Surfer, hey, dude, listen, you attacked me. I don't like that. So unfortunately, I'm going to make sure you stay here on Earth. I'm going to take away the powers you had that allowed you to travel across the entire universe. And so after doing that, Galactus leaves. But you now have the Silver Surfer staying on Earth. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and end today's storyline on a sad note. And here's the reason why. Because you do have Alicia Masters appear, and when she does appear, she runs over to the Silver Surfer, ignoring Ben Grimm. Now here's the thing, because for Alicia, it's really more of her just seeing like, hey, are you okay? Did you do the right thing? That's her right now. It's not her expressing some kind of love for the Silver Surfer, but for Ben Grimm's more of, well, look how he talks. Look how he acts. He acts and talk way better than I do. I talk like a fool and he does not. So I should see that right now she wants him. But in reality, no, it's just her making sure that he is okay and he did the right thing. But Ben Grimm, he walks away. And after he walks away, you didn't have the Silver Surfer leave because he now has the entire Earth to explore, to learn different things about humans. So he leaves. After he leaves, you did have Alicia realize that Ben is no longer around and trying her best to find Ben. Now, I'm going to go ahead and end today's storyline here because the rest of this issue is really more of building up things to come in later books down the road. But with that being said, guys, please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.